What is happening, guys? Call of Duty Black Ops Kid here, coming at you with a new Fallout 76 video. Now basically we're going to be covering new information that came out at their Fallout 76 question and answer post at QuakeCon this year. It just happened a few days ago. I didn't want to make a video exactly when the QuakeCon event happened because there's a lot of information that we got, a lot of stuff that I want to dive into, and I don't want to make a lot of different videos for just one section. So today we're going to be talking about the reviving, a little bit integration on the camp system, PvP, trading, perks, level ups, quests are going to work. Pretty much any questions that you guys have, they might have been answered. A lot of my questions that I, delve into a lot, that they're kind of just hopping around, they haven't quite said anything yet. So without further ado, let's dive right into the video. First thing they really integrated on is this brand new trailer that they just came out with at the Fallout 76 question and answer postings about perk cards and leveling up. So they really dive deep into this integration. Basically, as soon as you get out of the vault, you get a level, and you can allocate those points to those certain attributes on your special meter, which is obviously strength, perception, agility, charisma, intelligence, luck, and endurance. Obviously putting one of your special levels to 10 on each one of those, but they did integrate that you only do this till level 50, so you can only have 50 points in your special levels. Now, they didn't say if you could ever reset these allocated points. If there's even a way to do this at all. I could see that them doing this because they want this game to be lasting for years to come, because they said they want to do updates and stuff like that. Also, with perks, they added basically where you can have up to 15 perk cards allocated to the player at once. There's a lot of perk cards that they quickly go through, like 30% on camps, and like they integrated that they want to try and not make the character super overpowered. They want you to go with other characters to make sure that you're not just going out and wrecking everything. Charisma is one thing that everyone was like, okay, that's gonna be a wasteful perk, but charisma actually helps. It's basically like the group leader, where they have one person that allocates, gives extra ammo or gets extra caps from enemies and stuff like that. So charisma actually plays quite a big role, but only if you're going into the wasteland with other players. Now, they did integrate that, a lot of solo players will have special perks just for them, and that's kind of great because I was kind of wondering about that as well. So you can go out there and carry extra loot, get extra ammo and everything just like that on your own, but charisma is a lot of the multiple player aspect as well. Also, they covered that along with emotes, they will have proximity chat as well as game party, and allowing you to mute that as well. They also talked about if someone is constantly killing the player, you will be given an option to seek revenge, which we already talked about in our last video. And then they also talked about if they continuously keep killing people and the player doesn't want to do that, they will be claimed as a murderer, and they will be set with a bounty level basically, and they will be a red star on the map, and no matter what they do, they will be hunted down, and whatever caps they lose will come right out of the player's pocket. So that's kind of cool that they kind of integrated that as well. They also went over like perk card packs, which I don't assume they're going to do a paid for basis on that, because that would just be a pay to win, and they're only doing cosmetics. But they're doing perk card packs, which they said they give every 5 levels, and then tell you level 10, then they do it every 10 levels or something like that. Maybe I'm getting that a little bit confused, but basically perk cards will have 4 random cards, and they have a rarity system, kind of like Fallout Shelter, like gold and blue and white being the casual perk cards. And sometimes seeing that you can allocate, they'll kind of allocate your points to maybe luck, or maybe it'll make you more intelligent or charisma, something that you might not try out. They want the player to kind of decide whether or not they want you to allocate your points and pick that perk card just because you saw it, or, oh wow, this is a new perk and I've never seen, I didn't even know you could get something like this. That's going to be a huge customization on Fallout 76's thing with customer character customization, which we saw that as well in the trailer, which they saw a little bit of the custom creation, the pre-build, stuff like that. A little bit of the camera mode we got to see as well, what you're seeing right now. And also they said that you would be able to create your character, change your sex, hair, anything like that, any point in the game as soon as you're started, which is actually amazing news, because that's also something I was curious about. But they said that you'll be able to change your sex, your person, at any given time as soon as you play the game. If once you're downed, you can actually pay caps to travel farther away, but the last known location you'll be able to transfer to will be free, as well as Vault 76 will be free. So that will also kind of dig into your caps. However, this is probably inexpensive, because I'm assuming once you get to your last travel location, you can always just get away from that player and fast travel for free. But they have not clarified if whether fast travel will cost money all the time. I assume probably not, because that would just ruin the aspect of the game. So a lot of this new weapon looks like a little crossbow, as well as the bridge in the background with like a dried underneath lake. They also talked about, all the perk, allocating the 15 perk cards here as well. And I'm just excited to see, a lot of these barren wastes, the new radiated cities, a lot of the new areas we get to explore in Fallout 76, which is obviously a big emphasis. Hopefully there's a lot of Easter eggs for us to find as well, because that's always a big thing with Bethesda games, which is something I'm going to be really diving deep into. They talked about early access to the beta, which they're going to try and get people started here pretty soon. Just make sure that you have your beta access available when you've pre-ordered the game. Obviously, Xbox will be previewing it first, which a week ahead of other consoles, so that's actually pretty cool if you guys have Xbox. They talked a little bit about the camp system, the blueprinting. Never still ran over about trading with other players, because they said there is officially no NPCs, so they didn't talk about any quest giving, which we've also talked about in the past. So nothing on that. They're excited to come out with more stuff in the future, before the beta comes out, with some more information that might help us out with purchasing the game. They didn't give an exact date. They just said October, so we're really hoping we get a little bit more information on that as well. They did talk about a little trading robot in the no-clip documentary. They didn't say whether or not there's trading robots or not. I expect to see more information on trading, because that's a huge debated, talked about topic, as well as, your carriers and supply drops as well. Will be a little bit more information in the future, so hopefully they give us more info on that as well, because a lot of trading and a lot of the battle cap system mechanics is something that we don't really know about, as well as PvP. They kind of initialized it kind of like the Borderlands PvP mechanic. You can't just, sneak up and headshot someone and instantly kill them. It's going to be basically like your first few hits are debuffed. They also talked about, when it comes to PvP, it's going to be pretty balanced. Like, your armor and stuff is going to be pretty evened out. Just because you're a high level doesn't mean you're going to be killing them constantly. It's going to be based on, obviously, if you can make those shots and stuff like that. So, they talked about once the PvP is over, once a player dies, the only thing that you'll be able to loot off them is, obviously, they'll be given a little bit of caps based on if you successfully win. That does not come out of the player. That just comes out of thin air, as well as whatever junk the player is carrying will be given to that player. It didn't specify if it was all. I think it's going to be all of the junk that they were carrying, so you can bring that back to your camp and upgrade it. They didn't really go into much detail about this, but that's what I'm assuming, that basically all their junk becomes yours. You can obviously take revenge and try and get your junk back, as well as all of their junk. They said that there was private caches everywhere that you could store your junk to make sure it's safe. So it kind of, the risk of that is just a little less. But then also, if the characters that are versing you in combat look around near there and they find your stash, then it's going to be all gone. So that I thought was pretty interesting. They kind of covered what they're going to be doing with the PvP aspect. This could change because it's still pretty early on, but I think junk is actually an incentive to kill players, but at the same time, Doing so might get you a bounty on your head, and there goes all your hard-earned caps. So let's talk a little bit about the perks. Now we have quite a bit of perks that we can kind of speculate, kind of talk about here. Bandolier probably hold more ammo or have weapons hold more ammo. Batteries included, which possibly has something to do with electrical weapons. Bare arms, maybe something with better melee damage. Expert slugger, maybe something with better with bats or blunt weapons. Gladiator, obviously we had extra damage, 10% to 20% to 30% extra damage with one-handed melee weapons. Sturdy frame, maybe a little bit more physical damage. True hiker, which is food and drink weights are reduced by 60%. So that one would be kind of come in handy. That would be a strength one, and that would cover 2. So obviously, when it comes down to it, up in the top hand corner of the screen, we have strength at being at 12, which would be how many you allocated to that slot is how many of those perk cards you can have. So it looks like Bandolier would be 3, batteries included 1, bare arms 2, Expert Slugger 1, Gladiator 2, Sturdy Frame 1, and True Hiker 2. So that equals out 12 in strength, so they have that much use. Now, if you go to Perception, they have Panopixerologist and Percepti-Bobble, which is... He has 5 in Perception, but he only is using 2, so it shows 3 unused. So you can only have 15 cards allocated to each perk slot at once, so you can have a total of 15 Strength, 15 Perception, 15 Endurance, and then obviously you'd only be able to cap out to 50, so you'd have to allocate all those accordingly. If we do the math here real quick, you can have about 6 in every single slot, with 7s on 3 of those, so... that would pretty much be it for that. And then the Percepti-Bobble, you hear directional audio when close to a bobblehead. So that's kind of interesting. How bobbleheads are going to work. Maybe that will be mainly only cosmetic, because obviously previous games we had them do a little bit of extra stuff like, make you 10% heal better, stuff like that. So they probably do the same thing in this one. The way they're going to work, it's probably going to work a little bit differently. Are they going to randomly spawn? Are they going to spawn in the same spots? Who knows at this point? Then we have Aqua Girl, which we can probably assume would be just, no rads, or same perk system, kind of like Fallout 4. Professional drinker, that probably is like something to do with not getting drunk, alcohol, or maybe just something that doesn't give you diseases. And then obviously vaccinated, a chance of catching a disease from creature reduced by 60%. So there is confirmed diseases in this game as well. And then he has charisma up quite a bit too. It looks like bodyguards, which we don't really know what it is. Happy camper, hard bargain, which makes me believe that trading with other NPCs is a possible thing, or having robots, however that works too. Inspirational party girl, which we know about. It's harder to get drunk off things. And then positive mutations effects are 25% stronger if teammates are mutated too. So we'll talk about mutations in a little bit. So we'll go to intelligence, exotic weapons, and first aid. Stem packs restore 10% more lost health. Goat legs, maybe you run faster. Marathon sprinting now is 20% less action cost, which is probably going to be nice because the map is so huge. Luck of the draw, maybe you get something better with extra loot. Mysterious stranger, which is cool that he makes a return. Mystery meat, who knows, and starched jeans. You'll never mutate from rads. Holloway will never cure mutations. So that is sweet. We got a couple cool things there. So you can cure your mutations, which you already knew. Mutations is something I'm going to talk about. The trailer showed off quite a bit of the mutations that you can get. It shows you morphing into a mole rat, which I don't know if they'll actually make you mutate into special things, because we know that it's possible that they do this kind of thing, but if they actually mutate into animals, I doubt, honestly. I do see them bringing in the ghoul aspect, maybe with extra rads. I could see this being possible, especially with them being able to be able to cure it now. I could see that being a possibility, but we'll have to see more of that stuff towards launch. All these perks right here are them opening up a card pack. So the gold ones are kind of the rarer ones, and they all start at level 1, and you can level them up, I think, every level. Dromedary. All drinks quench thirst by an additional 15%. Slow metabolizer. All food satisfies hunger by an additional 15%. Those are both allocated to endurance, so that might be another perk that you might allocate your points to. Happy-go-lucky. Your luck is increased by 2 while under the influence of alcohol. Quack Surgeon. Revive other players with liquor, which I think is crazy, because obviously stem packs and stuff are going to be something that you'll need to use quite often. Spiritual Healer, you regenerate health for 5 seconds after reviving another player. Contractor would be nice, actually. Crafting workshops items now cost 25% fewer materials. Master Hacker obviously just increases your hacking skill and locked out stuff. So with mutations, we got mutations, which is kind of cool. We knew that they were going to be coming, but we didn't know in what kind of forms. They did talk about getting mutated by a crow, and it would always they're always going to have some positive and negative effects. Whether it's cosmetic, we don't know exactly. The trailer makes us believe that this is true, but we'll find out more information towards launch date. Also, with all these new information, I don't think Fallout 76 is going to have a level cap. They didn't say that there was a level cap. In Fallout 4, there was no level cap, so I would assume Fallout 76 would not have a level cap as well. Especially with an ever-growing multiplayer online, with them wanting to keep the game up and running for a long time. Obviously, every 5 levels, you get a card pack. So I could see that being a beneficial thing, getting more perk cards until you have them all, and then you can eventually do more things with your character. So I'm safe to say that Fallout 76 is going to be a pretty mass success with all this new revenue that's going to be coming out with all these new gameplay information. If they can really sell me on that trading stuff, I mean, we might have a glimpse here with the mystery of our perk card situation. Might give us a little bit of a clue on how that will work. I wish we could look at that a little bit depth. But we'll have a video more in a couple of days analyzing more of these perk cards and see if we can get some more information from the guys at Bethesda. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. It was a long one. I'm trying to give you guys as much gaming news and gaming stuff as I can, because that's what I'm planning to do. I mean, it's the formula that I've created, and a lot of people are enjoying these types of videos. So I really appreciate all you guys for watching this video. If you guys liked it, please hit the like button, as it shows me a great support. Subscribe for more content just like this every single week. And I'll comment your guys' favorite Fallout 76 tidbit, or maybe there's some information I didn't like to show. I tried to cover everything in this one video, but obviously we'll be covering some more perk stuff and trader stuff in the next video. So I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.